Welcome back, everybody. We're doing the trail called Crapshoot out at Table Mesa, and this is the start of the long, steep, narrow shelf road climb to the top of the main obstacle. There it goes. We were out here today for Jeep Jamboree Table Mesa. This is our 8th Jamboree, and we're super excited. And I wanted to bring you this video as unedited as possible so you can see this obstacle. This obstacle took 25 minutes to complete from the bottom all the way up to the top where the right-hand blind turn is, down the step, and then across the rock garden. The Crapshoot Trail is nestled into the Table Mesa recreation area, which is located just north of Phoenix. There really is only 2 obstacles on this trail. The first one is just a short climb. It's not too terribly intimidating, but it is pretty steep. The easier line is on the left, the harder line is on the right-hand side. And then this one, this is the main obstacle. It's rather long, like I mentioned before. It's got some steep ascents, off camber in a couple spots with a blind right-hand turn. This is not a good place to learn how to use your hill descent control. If you know how to use it, you might like it here. I'm not a terribly big fan of hill descent control. For this obstacle, we're in 4 low, 2nd gear in the automatic transmission, sway bar disconnected, no lockers. Nice and slow, easy climb. There is a sharp turn at the top though that you don't want to miss. Missing that turn at the top will ruin your day for sure. Bruce is leading us today in a 79 CJ5. Got all kinds of JLs in our group today, a couple JKs, my 2-door JK.
On the top of this hill, we've got a blind right-hand turn. I'm going to drop Paul off up there to help spot you through because it's really hard to see where you're supposed to go. And kind of one at a time up the hill gives guys some space in case they have any issues.
This section right up here, you can see Bruce getting started. This is the steepest section of this climb right here. So with trails like this one, during a Jamboree, we'll often use a guide in the lead vehicle. We drop him off at the main obstacles, and then they spot all the participants through, and then we pick them up with the tail. I know Bruce mentioned this already, but with real steep climbs like this, it's important to give plenty of room between vehicles so that the person up in the lead, if they have any difficulties whatsoever, they're not going to roll back. possibly include the person behind them in any kind of danger. And just work your way up the hill nice and slow. You can kind of see here where Bruce and this participant are just slowly working their way up this obstacle.
This part of the trail demands your attention.
You're going up a hill like this, should you have both lockers on, front or rear?
I would suggest 4 low with your rear locker engaged if you want the extra traction.
Thank you.
Some people may not know this, but with our Jeep platforms, when you put your Jeep in 4 low, it automatically starts your transmission in second. And if you manually downshift it to first, you can get the advantage of the lower ratio in first if you manually downshift.
10-4, thank you.
You betcha.
I'm going up right now with just the rear locker on. It's working fine. In second gear.
What some people may forget or may not be aware of is that when you engage your front locker, it can have some negative consequences to your steering. And it can make it tougher to steer. And in certain places, you don't want that. And in this circumstance with this hill, the rear locker doesn't hurt. I don't think I used my rear locker on this climb. I felt well enough I didn't need it. Mostly traction control did most of the work.
There we go, just like little mules.
If you know much about vehicle dynamics, especially on a steep hill like this, that can have the negative consequence on the steering because the front end is a little bit lighter, and that can even be exacerbated when you turn your front locker on, where you're not going to be able to turn that Jeep where you want it to go.
Stop. Go driver and back up. Hard passenger. Really hard passenger. All right, there you go.
Yep, it's as steep as it looks.
The trail does get really steep here, and as you're going to tell here in just a moment, it does get to be off camber here to the left, but as long as you keep your wheel speed down and avoid loss of traction and keep your vehicle pointed uphill, you'll be just fine. I didn't have my action camera with me this weekend, or my mirrorless camera. This is all on my phone, and oddly enough, I think this phone did a pretty good job.
I'm going to go ahead and keep this recording until the rock garden down below, so you can get an idea of what this is about. Give this guy some room here.
This driver is approaching this blind right-handed downhill turn. You can see Paul there giving him some direction. Paul's literally standing right on the very edge of the trail up there, and you'll see it here in just a moment.
Man, that one's fun.
Let's get him. Get him. 15 points. At least we got him stopped.
Yep, we're good.
Going in the right direction. All right, there's Bruce way down there. This road kind of curves, goes down, makes a downhill curve like this, makes an S, and then drops down off the side of that into a rock garden. This downhill descent that's coming up, low range in the transfer case obviously, and then low range in the automatic transmission or first gear in your manual transmission will give you some slow control going down.
For these steep descents, like the one we're about to come up to, I like low range in the transfer case and low range in the automatic transmission, and use some engine braking to help with that descent, and it will really help to keep some control. And this is what the hill descent control sort of simulates. It works in a different mechanism, obviously, but helps you to keep control.
So here's a question for you. Our Jeep here is equipped with hill descent control. And if yours is equipped with that as well, how do you like it? Do you use it? I use it sometimes, but steep stuff like this makes me nervous because I feel like I want to have control of the brakes with my foot. Leave a comment down below. Tell me what you think.
All I'm going to say about hill descent control is it feels weird and it does take some getting used to, in my opinion.
So this is just low range in the transfer case. Of course, it's 4-to-1 because I'm in a Rubicon, plus first gear in the automatic transmission. Basically just using engine braking. Oh, hi, Mr. Seatbelt.
So now we've come to the top of this hill and we're going to work our way down the other side. It's very steep, and about halfway down there's a really tall step that you have to go down, and it is a bit of a pucker factor, I'm not going to lie. After that, there's a brief rock garden, and then you're done with the obstacle.
Okay, now go ahead and hold up right there at the top until I get down. Skid plate.
Okay, now it's our turn. And this is where we get to feel just how well the seatbelt works.
Oh yeah, right on the nose. Listen to all the mud run off the top. Easy now.
The day before, we got into a lot of mud and it fell down onto the roof of the Jeep in big glops, and now that it's dry, it's just rolling off.
Come on down, we're ready for you.
And now we're just starting into the last section of this obstacle, which is a real short, pretty easy rock garden. Nothing really scary or intimidating anything. Just take your time.
Just a couple little down steps here, but just go slow.
Oh.
Hey, Chad, hold up for 1 second. I'm on my way.
You got it. I've just got a flat spot here. That tree limb. That tree limb took some of the mud off my mirror and just showered me with it. Oh, that's funny. All right, there you go. That's the main obstacle on Crapshoot. What did it take us 25 minutes to get down that with our small group, and it's fun. That's kind of the main obstacle of the whole trail. The rest of it's just really scenic and nice. There's wild burro out here, donkey burro, whatever, I don't know what the thing is. Anyways, thanks for watching. See you next time.